Okay, how many times does x go into x to the third? X squared. So so now we take x squared, we multiply those, and we get x to the third, and we multiply those, and we get 2x squared. Then I draw the line and change the signs. The first one should always cancel, or you made some sort of mistake. And negative 6 and negative 2 is negative 8x squared. And then I'll bring down the 2x and the negative 4. How many times does x go into negative 8x squared? Negative 8x. Does anybody not understand that? All you really need to do is divide them. What is negative 8x squared divided by x? Well, one of the x's cancel, so you get negative 8x. So now we multiply. This one should be negative 8x squared, and the other one is negative 16x. Draw the line, change the signs. Those cancel. 2 and 16 make 18x. Bring down the 4. How many times does x go into 18x? 18 times. And then we multiply. 18 times x is 18x. 18 times 2 is plus 36. Draw the line and change the signs. These cancel, and my remainder is minus 34 over x plus 2. So, did it go in evenly? No. So, is x plus 2 a factor of x to the third? What did I do? Oh, apparently I don't know my math. So, this should be 36, and that should be 40. Okay, try again. So, does this graph cross the x-axis at the root x equals negative 2? No, it doesn't. Okay, that's something that you'll need to know later on. Okay. So for the second one, we're missing an x term, so I need to put in a placeholder, 0. So x goes in here, x squared, which is going to give me x to the third minus 4x. Subtract. Those cancel. I get negative 5x. How many times does x go into... Oops. How many times does x go into negative 5x squared? Just 5x minus 5x. So this gives me negative 5x squared. Negative 5x and negative 4 is 20x. Change the signs. First one cancels. That's going to give me negative 20x plus 2. So x goes into negative 20x, negative 20 times. So this will be negative 20x. Negative 20 times 4 is 80. We're going to subtract. Those cancel. 80, or 2 minus 80 is negative 78 over x minus 4. Okay? Are we all right with that? Okay. So for today, you're going to be working problems that are bigger than the ones that you did on the assignment yesterday. So, yeah, it's the same stuff. If I give you an example, you don't want to just make them up because then you end up with fractions. So, let's take, all right, x squared plus 2x plus 3 goes into 3x to the fourth plus x to the third minus 8x squared minus 3x minus 3. So the system is exactly the same. First, you want to check to see if you need any placeholders. Do we need any placeholders? No, we have 4, 3, 2, 1, and a constant. So we don't need any placeholders. Okay. How many times does x squared go into 3x to the fourth? 3x squared. So I multiply times all three of them and just line them up in the correct column. So 3x to the fourth. This one's going to give me 6x to the third. And that one's going to give me 9x squared. Now I go through and change all the signs. First one cancels. Bring down everything else. 7x to the third minus 17x squared minus 3x minus 3. How many times does x squared go into 7x to the third? Positive 7x. So then I multiply 21x squared x to the third plus 14x squared and plus 21x. Oh, sorry. Where did you get lost? Okay, so does everybody... Oh my goodness. Sorry. Does that make more sense now? Oh. Oh my goodness. You guys are way smarter than me. Okay. I didn't see that negative. So this is negative 5x to the third minus 17x squared. Now are you on the same page as me? Sorry. Okay. So how many times does x squared go into negative 5x to the third? Now it's negative 5x. You guys just wanted to see how far I go before I figured it out. And then you realized I had no idea what was going on. So you had to stop me. Okay. So now we multiply the 5x times all of those. Negative 5x times x squared is negative 5x to the third. I'll bring down these other terms. Negative 5x times 2x is negative 10x squared. Negative 5x times 3 is negative 15x. Change all the signs. First one should always cancel. Then I get 7x squared. Negative 3 and positive 15 is plus 12x minus 3. Negative 7. Thank you. Sorry. Let me wait till you get caught up. Okay. How many times does x squared go into negative 7x squared? Negative 7 times. Negative 7 times x squared is negative 7x squared. Negative 7 times 2x is minus 14x. Negative 7 times 3 is minus 21. Change the signs. That crosses off. So 12 and 14. 20. Okay, we did it right. 26x. That would be plus 18. Now, how many times does x squared go into 26x? It doesn't. So this is my remainder. So the answer is 3x squared minus 5x minus 7. And then my remainder is plus 26x plus 18 over x squared plus 2x plus 3. Awesome. Well, it depends. So it's kind of like the difference between 5/4 and 1 1/4. Which is better? Well, it depends on what you're doing. If you're multiplying numbers, this is useless. So it's really similar between a mixed number and an improper fraction. Do you want to leave it in fraction form, or do you want to switch it to mixed number? Because this is really just 1 plus 1/4, right? So this would be the simplified fraction, and that would be mixed number. And it depends on what you're doing. So all we're learning today is how to do the division. And then later on, you get to decide whether you want to do it that way or whether you want to leave it in its other form. Okay? Let me look at the other example here. Um, okay, so here is your assignment today. It's on page 49, but I want to point out a couple things. It's only 6 problems. But notice on number 6, you're missing some terms. Number 5, you're missing a term, and number 6, you're missing 2 terms. When you do number 6, I'm going to get you started on number 6. So x to the third minus 9 goes into, you need to make sure that you put all those placeholders in there. So negative 7x to the fifth minus 0 or plus 0x to the fourth minus 3x to the third plus 63x squared plus 0x plus 7. Okay, that's not the hard part. How many times does x to the third go into negative 7x to the fifth? Negative 7x squared. Negative 7x squared, which is quite different from 1. Okay, now here's the trick. When I multiply these, I get negative 7x to the fifth. And what do I get when I multiply the other two? 63x squared. So make sure you put that in the x squared column. So 63x squared. And you don't have anything here. So we draw that, switch the signs. Those cancel and those cancel. So do I need to bring down a 0x to the fourth? No, there's no point. So that wasn't needed. So negative 3x to the third plus 0x plus 7. And you might not need this one. And well, it canceled. Oh, I see. So plus 0. Well, I knew in my head we wouldn't need it. But you're right. There should be a plus 0x squared in there too. But it ends up, when you multiply it again, you're going to get an x to the third and a constant. So in this case, you didn't actually need them, but that's not always going to happen. Oh, okay. So how many times does x to the third go into negative 3x to the third? Negative 3 times. So this is negative 3x to the third. Negative 3 times negative 9 is 27. Change the signs, and my remainder is going to be negative 20. So minus 20 over x to the third minus 9. Okay? So now you only have 5 problems to do. Good luck.